Have you ever seen a house fall apart? Not from old age, not from neglect, but in a single night, reduced to rubble by wind and rain? It's terrifying. And Jesus once told a story about exactly that. A story not about construction, but about life. About the difference between wisdom and foolishness. About the foundation every one of us is building on. Picture the moment. The sun is sinking low, painting the horizon with streaks of orange and red. A crowd gathers at the edge of the hillside. They've been following Jesus for days now, listening as he teaches about love, forgiveness, prayer, and faith. His words are unlike any they've ever heard, gentle but sharp, simple yet profound. And now, as the evening breeze stirs the air, he raises his voice one last time. Everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Immediately, the people lean in. They can see it in their minds, a wise builder standing on a rugged hillside, sweat glistening on his brow. He digs deep, his hands blistered from labor, carving into the solid stone. Day after day he works not for speed, but for strength. Slowly, carefully, he lays the foundation, stone upon stone, secure upon the rock. Then the house rises, walls strong, beams sturdy, the roof tight against the sky. It's not just a shelter, it's a fortress. But Jesus' story doesn't stop there. His voice shifts lower, heavier, and everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The crowd stirs again. They know this builder too. Impatient, eager, unwilling to dig deep. He sees the flat stretch of sand by the riverbank, smooth and easy to build on. Why waste time, he says. He gathers his wood, his stone, his clay. In no time the walls rise, the roof goes on, and the house stands tall. It looks just as fine as the first, maybe even finer. To the eye, there is no difference. But then the storm comes. Dark clouds roll in. Winds howl through the valley. Lightning splits the sky, and thunder crashes like the roar of an army. Rain falls in torrents, pounding the earth, turning sand into mud. The river swells, rushing like a monster unleashed. And there, on the hillside, the wise man's house stands firm. The wind batters it. The rain lashes it, but the rock beneath does not move. The house holds. Inside, the family huddles close, safe in the shelter of wisdom. But on the sand, disaster strikes. The water churns, surging against the foundation. The ground shifts, softens, slides away. The walls tremble. Beams crack, the roof caves in. With a deafening crash, the whole house collapses gone in an instant. And Jesus' words hang in the air like the storm itself. And great was its fall. The crowd is silent. Some exchange nervous glances. Others shift uneasily, the weight of the message pressing into their hearts. Because everyone realizes this is not just a story about houses. This is about them, about all of us. Every day, each choice we make, each word we live by, is a brick laid on a foundation. And there are only two foundations, the rock or the sand. The rock hearing the words of Jesus and living them out. Forgiving when it hurts. Loving when it's hard. Trusting when it's scary. Obeying when it costs. The sand hearing the words but ignoring them. Building life on money, pleasure, pride, or comfort. Living as if tomorrow will never bring a storm, and the storms will come, not if, but when sickness strikes, when the job is lost, when the betrayal cuts deep, when grief floods in like a rising river. That's when the foundation is revealed. On the rock you may tremble, but you will not fall. On the sand you may stand tall for a moment, but the storm will take it all. And isn't that the truth we see all around us? One person faces hardship, yet somehow stands strong, their faith unshaken. Another faces the same storm, but collapses in despair, unable to withstand the flood. The difference is not the storm, it's the foundation. The parable of the two builders is not a tale about carpentry. It's a warning about eternity. It's about the choices we make when life is calm, because those choices determine whether we'll stand or fall when the storm comes. Think about it. The foolish builder's house didn't fall because it was poorly built. It fell because it was built on the wrong foundation. It looked fine until the test came. And in the same way, our lives can look successful, impressive, enviable, until the storm exposes what we've been building on. Jesus was not offering a suggestion. He was giving a command. Build on the rock. Hear his words and put them into practice. Not just listen, not just nod in agreement, not just admire, but obey. Live it out. Make his words the foundation of everything. Because here's the truth: storms are coming for every one of us. No one escapes. The wise are not spared the storm, but they are spared the fall. And so Jesus asks us, what are you building on? Imagine with me for a moment. Two neighbors, side by side, each with a house. At first, they look the same. The walls are painted. The roofs are strong. The families laugh inside. The difference is hidden. But years later, the storm reveals everything. One house stands as a beacon of safety. The other lies in ruins, washed away by time and trial. Which house will be yours? The people listening to Jesus that day had to decide. Some walked away shaken but unchanged. Others walked away determined to dig deeper, to anchor their lives to his words. And today you and I must decide too. Building on the rock is harder. It takes effort, sacrifice, faith. But it's the only foundation that lasts. Building on sand is easy, quick, comfortable, but it will not endure. And maybe the question is not whether I'll face storm, but whether I'll be ready when they come. So let me ask you, what are you building on right now? Are you trusting in wealth, success, or pleasure sand that can shift in a moment? Or are you anchoring your life to the unshakable rock of Jesus Christ? Because when the rain falls, when the wind howls, when the flood rises, you'll discover the answer. The parable of the two builders is simple, but it's life-changing. It's a choice between wisdom and foolishness, between security and ruin, between life that endures and life that collapses. So now I ask you, what would you have done in this moment? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And if this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful Bible stories and share this video with someone who needs encouragement today.